Hello gorgeous people, what is going on? And welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are yet again jumping back into the horror ARG plushyplayground.org. Now, obviously, if you haven't seen my previous videos on Plushy Playground, I highly recommend you go and check them out. This is a super creepy and disturbing ARG about a old man that uses a plushie to take children. So if you want to check out those videos, they will be linked in the description down below. But my last video did end off on a crazy cliffhanger where we were about to put in the access code, but I wasn't able to at the time. Today, we're going to put in the access code and discover what is on the other side of the grown-ups only section. And oh man, first of all, you guys broke the Plushy Playground website. Yeah, after the videos came out, this is today. I'm filming this the day that my last video came out. The access code was found, and when people tried to enter the website, things weren't loading. Things were taking a very long time to load. Things weren't working properly. It was interesting. It was cool that like so many of you guys flooded the site, but we couldn't necessarily get everything to work right away. By now, you guys probably learned that I had the wrong access code at the end of the video. But don't worry, because I have the right access code now, and I'm going to show you how to get it. So we're going to go through the access code tape real quick, and I'm going to show you where the numbers are. Firstly, the number 9 is right here on the front of this car. That is the first number. Second was the number 6 that you could see on this ride here. The third number is 7, which is on the front of this car. And the fourth number is 2, which you could briefly see on the sign right there in the center of the screen. Now, this fifth number is the one that really tripped people up, and it got me too. Right here during this section where it's a bit hard to see after the adult goes down the slide, we see Plushy and he says, "It's playtime." And then when the adult runs away, he runs into the kid and there's like this little jump scare here. The number is on the screen right now. This is a screenshot of that frame, and if you raise the exposure a lot, raise the contrast, if you raise all of these things here, maybe lower that down a little bit, it's hard to see, but you can see a 3 here. And that is the number that was hardest for people to get. I don't think anybody was expecting it to be there, but you did have to brighten the screen to get it. And the last number is the number 9 here, which you could see on this car. So the entire code is 967239. So let's head over to the Plushy Playground site and enter the code. 967239. Okay. Here we go. So, I have been on here, and I know it's not what I usually do. Usually I react to things like, you know, firsthand with you guys, but this was so complex that this took a few hours for me, and again, shout out to the Plushy Playground Investigation Discord, which will be linked in the description. It took a while for us all to figure out all the things here, and we're not even sure if we have all of the things figured out here yet. But as you can see, we got some security cameras here. We got camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4 showing us the slide, and camera 5 showing us the bottom of the slide. So it's a bunch of different security cameras of Plushy's playground, pretty much, but at night, which is interesting that it would be in the grown-ups only section, because this is probably something that a grown-up did set up. There's also at the top left here, get activity alerts, where you could put your email in and hit send. In my personal opinion, I don't think that's going to be anything directly connected to puzzles or anything. I think this is a way for Jordan to be able to email everybody interested in Plushy Playground with updates when there is an update. Like maybe when he updates the website, you'll get an email and it'll be like, "Hey, Plushy Playground has a new update," and then that'll be like your cue to go to the website and find it. That's my opinion now. So we have the cameras here, but what else do we have? I mean, we just got some cameras. There isn't really anything to click on, is there? Well, it's very hard to see right now, but we zoom in on the web page. We have some letters here. And if you hover over them, they get bigger. Well, oh, activity detected camera 5. Oh, did you see it? Did you see his hand pop out on the bottom of the slide? Looks like the security cameras are working, whoever set these up. Please ignore this thing up here, by the way. This is because I use Opera GX, and this is like a way to like make videos pop out or skip them and stuff. So just ignore that. That's not a part of the ARG. But we do have these letters here, and if you type in and spell out certain words with them, you get certain things. So let's start with the word tape. T-A-P-E. This is unfortunate. It appears that the website is still a little broken because an issue that we were dealing with a lot earlier was that videos were taking a very long time to load, as you can see in the bottom bar there. Unless, yeah, it's still broken. But have no fear, because I did download these videos. As you can see over here on the 3 dots, there's an option to download them, and it did take a while, but we did get them. So, interestingly enough, this is just a part of the access code tape again. I believe it's exactly the same, if not, things are in a slightly different order. But it is pretty much a lot of what we have seen already. I don't want to replay it all for you again because you have seen it before, but you understand what this is. This is the section where they're like, there's the birthday with the Sega Genesis. It also includes the part where there's like a bunch of arcade games and these animatronics. But from what we looked through, there's nothing different here that stands out. Now, if we go back to the website, another thing that we could spell out is Playtime. T-I-M-E. And we get another video. Is this one gonna load all the way through? No, this is sadly broken still. Damn it. But yet, again, I downloaded this one too. Again, this is the case of another video that we've seen before where in the access code tape, an adult goes to the playground, they put the Power Ranger plushie down the slide, and then they follow it down and they end up seeing Plushy, and it ends with the jump scare with the kid. So this was, again, another one where we didn't really see anything different here. But don't worry, I do have something new to show you. Let's type in email. E-M-A-I-L. We got an image loading.
You've got mail.
Okay, there it is. Dude, the sound effect is a little delayed. Again, like I said, like the website is, there's still a bunch of people flooding it because it's only been a few hours after the video is out. But the website was so much slower and more destroyed earlier. Okay, so we have a little bit of a news article here. This is America Online. Welcome, July 5th, 1998. Today on AOL. Missing girl found dead at playground. In 1991, 11-year-old Janice Dakin vanished while playing at a local playground. For 7 years, her disappearance baffled investigators and haunted the community with no leads or explanation. Yesterday, just days after what would have been her 18th birthday, Janice's body was discovered at the same playground where she was last seen. Authorities say the circumstances surrounding her death remain unclear, and the case has been reopened. Local residents remain divided over what happened to Janice. Several neighborhood children, however, insist she was killed by a man they claim lives at the playground, known only as Plushy. Authorities have not commented on the allegations. So, this is a tremendous piece of lore here. And it's really nice because obviously we've gotten a lot of videos, but we're not really sure of all the context of the videos, or do we know about any names of people or anything like that. If anything, we just see repeating kids in some of the videos. But we're getting a date here, July 5th, 1998, and information about this girl named Janice Dakin. In 1991, when she was 11, she vanished at a local playground, presumably Plushy's playground that he lives at here. And then yesterday, just days after what would have been her 18th birthday, Janice's body was discovered at the same playground where she was last seen. So, you could guess what the implication is here. Plushy kidnapped this child when she was 11, and then pretty much kept her in his world. And then once she turned 18, he killed her and got rid of her. Put her right back out the slide, which if you look at the image here, the body looks like it came right out of the slide here because it's right at the end of it. It's interesting just how strict he is with ages and adults. Like, he obviously loves kids and hates adults. He's known to have killed parents and killing people that are over the age of 18. But even though he took this kid in when she was 11, he still got rid of her the second that she was like past his age limit, which is insane and so dark and twisted. And it makes you wonder, like, obviously when these kids are younger, they might be a bit oblivious to what's actually going on here. As people that are older, we understand that Mr. Plushy is like this disturbing guy that's taking children, and that's not normal at all. But to a kid, it's just, you know, Plushy wants to play with them, wants to have fun. Oh my God, like, Plushy talks to me, he gives me hugs, and he, you know, we play with plushies and stuff. Like, it's all like fun and games to them. So do you think that Janice, at some point while she was down in Plushy's world, do you think she becomes aware, like, damn, I haven't been home in years, and maybe they're just stuck down there, you know, until Plushy gets rid of them or decides it's time for them to go? Again, it makes you really wonder, like, what he's doing with them down there. Because we just don't know anything about that. We know that he takes these kids, you need to give him a plushie to go to his world, and his world seems to be like this very liminal place with like big fields. It almost looks like a mirrored version of our world, but there's always blue skies and nice weather, and there's no other people except for that bear thing that we saw in the last video. So this is a tremendous piece of lore here, and I'm curious to see what more we're gonna get eventually. But it is interesting that several neighborhood children, however, insist she was killed by a man they claim lives at the playground. So again, showing that children are the only people that actually know about Plushy. I guess unless you're really paying attention to your kid and what they say, maybe you just wouldn't know about Plushy as a parent. Again, even if your kid told you like, hey, I was playing with Mr. Plushy at the playground, he lives in the slide, you'd be like, oh, okay, baby, like, yeah, it's your imaginary friend Plushy, like, because you're not believing that someone lives in a slide. Now, there is one more thing, and it's this, and I'm gonna say brace your ears. Let's type in dial up. Okay, so I muted the website now because you're just gonna hear those noises on a loop constantly. But we have this box here where we could type literally anything. Letters, numbers, symbols, and this is sadly where this ends. We've been going through this for quite a few hours. There is a chance that at some point over the next few days, someone's gonna end up figuring this out somewhere, because you guys always seem to figure it out somehow. And obviously the more people that we have on this, the better. But you type in dial-up and there's this huge box here, and it's pretty much like endless. So something needs to be typed in here. Presumably you would think it's a number, since you need to type dial-up to get this box open. But you can also type in letters, so who knows really. So again, thanks to the Plushy Playground Investigation Discord, the sound you hear for the dial-up does sound like just normal dial-up tone sounds. But if you do try to translate what numbers are being typed in, they believe in the Discord that it is 3440208, which you could use at the end of a phone number maybe. It just doesn't have the area code. But again, it's very up in the air, like what this could be. And truly, we don't know how much deeper this goes, like with just this page alone. This seems to be where we're stopped at right now. Someone tell that guy to shut up. This is Marcus from the future here. While I'm editing the ending of this video, actually shout out to OJ. OJ edited this entire video, but I am adding this on because there's been an update. Firstly, if you are interested in trying to solve the dial-up section, that section that I just spoke about, there are a few ground rules, I guess, that I should go over. 1, you do not need to visit anywhere in real life to solve the dial-up code. 2, you don't need to call any real life phone numbers to do it. If you're doing that, you're just being a nuisance, and it is completely useless, okay? Making that very clear. We know this because in the Plushy Playground Discord, Jordan gave us a little bit of a tip/update, and he said, and everything you need is right in that dial-up section. You don't need to go anywhere else on the site or anywhere in real life. Now, the most important thing that is on the dial-up section of the website is honestly the sound that you hear in the background. Now, I spent 3 hours yesterday just going through this audio and trying to analyze it. If you download the audio that's in the background of the dial-up section from the website, it is literally called good luck. If I've ever heard a tip of the answers in here, it's that. Now, the dial-up sound, when you hear it, it sounds like a normal dial-up sound. It's a few digits and then the humming throughout. But the thing is, the dial-up repeats 12 more times after the first time. And in each of those times, we hear it differently than the first time it's played. So in total, the dial-up sound is heard 13 times. The first time is normal. Every time after that is different in some way. Here's an example, and everything that I'm about to yap about is just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but this is how far I got with this. If you're looking to download the audio that I'm talking about so that you could also investigate this with us, the best place to access it is in the link in the description. There's a whole Plushy Playground investigation Discord where everyone is trying to figure this out right now. There's also a Google document that was made by that same Discord that has a ton of information, including all the files that are needed. So both of those will be linked in the description down below. This is a spectrogram of all of the dialed up numbers in the dial-up audio. Now, this section over here, this is the beginning of the dial-up, and this is what seems normal to me. In my opinion, I think the first time we hear the dial-up sound, I think that is like the key, and the rest of it is the puzzle. Because it's the only time it seems to play normal, just like when you look up dial-up sounds on YouTube, you'll hear the same exact sound that you hear in the beginning. But if you notice, the second time it plays, which is here, it is doubled. Same thing with the third time, same thing with the fourth time. Then in the fifth time, we hear the dial-up sound, but there's an extra number added. Same thing in this one, it's the dial-up sound, but there's a number added at the end. In this one, the dial-up sound is repeated twice very quickly. So each number is dialed twice, but in the same order. And you'll notice that there are differences in every single time it's typed. But what's important here, and why I think this is the key to everything, is because we hear it normal the first time, and then it's heard 12 times after. And all 12 times are in different ways. And there was an update to the website to the dial-up section where now there is a character limit for the dial-up code. You can only type in 12 characters. And I think it's going to be 12 numbers. And I think somewhere in the audio is a way to find out the 12 numbers. Now, if I'm going to be honest, I don't totally understand dial-up, how it works, and things like that. There are multiple other things in the audio that seem to be a bit weird other than what I'm showing you right here. But this is the best tip that I could give you right now. I think it is in that audio. I think the dial-up is somewhere, the answer is in there. I do also want to let you guys know that on the dial-up page, there is a guessing limit. So if you guess wrong too many times, it'll say try again later. So I think that's an attempt to make sure that you can't brute force it. Spoiler alert, if you do try to brute force this, whether it's like, I don't know, use some kind of bot or something to guess a bunch of numbers, what you're going to find on the other side, it's not going to work for you, buddy. That's all I'm going to say. Brute forcing this, it doesn't matter if you do find the code or not. It's not going to do anything for you. I'm just going to give you that tip. So don't even attempt it. It's useless. Last time someone brute forced the site, the access code was taken down, and even if you did guess the right code, it didn't lead anywhere. So that's the same case for this. But this is where the whole dial-up thing seems to end right now. I'm not sure if there are any more secrets in the grown-ups only section of the website. But of course, you know, I encourage you guys to go and explore, see if you can find anything out. And if you do, be sure to comment it on this video down below. But all right, back to Marcus in the past. People have really tried to dive into the videos that are repeating on this part of the site, you know, putting them into spectrograms, seeing if there's any codes there. There's been so many different things that have been tried, and we just can't find anything. I will tell you for a fact, though, one of the people in the Discord did message Jordan, and they said, hey, Jordan, I'm sure you've had a lot of DMs already, but is there an actual solution to the dial-up page right now, or is it just a red herring? And Jordan replied, it's solvable, but I doubt anyone is going to figure it out. But who knows? So I think this is going to be the hardest puzzle yet, trying to figure out what to type into that dial tone box. Who knows? We've tried the dates that are in that email, with the news article about Janice. We've tried so many things and nothing has seemed to have worked yet. So this is me calling on to you guys to see if you guys could figure it out. I mean, there is a chance that you guys might be able to. You guys have figured out so much of this before already as well. For all we know, there may even be more letter combinations. I'm not too sure about that one though, because people have been putting in different letter combinations for different words for quite a while, and it seems to just be those 4 that you could put in. Again, those 4 were playtime, email, tape, and dial-up. Another thing to note is that, as we saw before with the security alerts, that happens on camera 4 and 5 only, which makes sense because those are the entrances to the slide. So for example, on 5 here before, we saw the hand pop out here, and on 4 you'll see Plushy's head pop out from this angle here too. But no one's seen anything on cameras 1, 2, and 3 so far. But sadly, guys, that is where this ends at for now. I'm sorry that this wasn't a more eventful update. Truly, who knows what is on the other side of that dial-up box. But Jordan seems to doubt that anybody's going to figure it out. But I definitely think we are going to at some point. It might take a few days, but I definitely think that as a community, we'll be able to do it. And of course, I would love to make another video to update everybody. So the biggest thing that we got out of this though is the security footage, that someone set up security footage at the playground. We're getting repeating tapes, which we're not sure if there's anything different in them. Like I said, we haven't seen anything different in those repeating tapes. When you put in the words tape and playtime, we haven't seen anything new in those. There is the email, which is a huge lore dump and shows us, I guess, what happens when Plushy keeps holding on to these kids. If he keeps them in his world, he ends up killing them when they turn 18. And then lastly, we have the dial-up box, which seems to be the final mystery for this whole thing. And maybe, who knows, I mean, it could have something to do with just the grown-ups only section. It could have something to do with anything in the entire website of Plushy's Playground, but it is solvable, and I'm sure someone is going to figure it out. And when they do, if I don't know already, please do let me know. The absolute last thing that I want to go over today, that you guys have talked to me like a million times about and commented about, was the instant messenger video. Apparently, at some point between my first video on Plushy Playground and when the access code was found, there was an update to the website where if you type in playtime in the instant message, Plushy sends you a link. Now, this is, you're most likely supposed to type playtime when Plushy asks what time it is, and obviously that makes a lot more sense after we went through the access code and Plushy asked the adult when he was down there, what time is it? It's playtime. So let's just take a look at the video. This is the reason why I didn't include this in the last video. It's the same video that was in the access code, showing this like abandoned pier. Although I will say there are like a few different camera angles added throughout it, but I didn't really see or think anything was notable. If anything, the most notable thing about this video is the ending, which, if you remember, the character gets put into this person's house after he takes the elevator, and he hears this laughing. And the difference is right around here, because you remember that the gumball machine makes a noise. Character does it. Picks up a gumball. Wait, what? Wait. No. This is now the second instance where this has happened. That footage, oh my god. I don't have any footage of it anywhere. I didn't record it when I went through it. Let me explain. This is the ending of the access code tape. This is what we saw at the end of the access code tape. But this version on the website, when you type in playtime in the instant messenger section, it leads you to a very similar video, but the ending was different. It didn't show the character picking up the gumball, looking at it, and then, you know, the whole house gets furnished and the baby's there. Instead, it ends with the character actually going down this hallway and going inside this dark room here with the open door. And that's where it ends. It had an alternate ending, but that alternate ending isn't here anymore. And I found out even that in the last video, when I said how, I didn't remember that there was another part to one of the secret videos where we end up seeing the windmills and the big open field. Like I said, I didn't remember that when I first went over the website. That's because it wasn't there. That was added on after. So small things on the website keep getting tweaked, and it's so hard to know when and if it does. Well, guys, that's going to be it for today. I'm sorry for the very, very short video here, but of course I had to show you guys what was on the other side of the grown-ups only section, especially since a lot of people were saying they couldn't access it because the website was glitching out and they couldn't see what was actually there. So I definitely want to show you guys what was there and some of the things that we discovered. And again, this is me also calling on you to see if you guys can figure out what goes up in that code when you type in DIALUP. What is supposed to go into that white box, and can we solve it? Jordan doubts that we can, but listen, we went and found a tape in real life, and we got all the way up to the dial-up box, so I'm sure we could finish this and get this done. I imagine that there is something crazy probably on the other side of that box. That seems to be the final puzzle, especially if Jordan thinks that maybe nobody can solve it. So again, if you guys figure it out, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'd also love to know what you guys think. Just some closing thoughts. I firstly want to thank you guys for the amount of support on the last video that went up on the channel, going over the access code and everything. That has been one of my best performing YouTube videos ever. That video hit 100K in 5 hours, which is ridiculous, and I've never seen numbers like that before. I also want to thank Jordan so much for giving me the opportunity to, be able to send me the copy of the tape so that it was able to be uploaded and so that I could upload it to show all of you. It was a really great thing, and the community was just awesome during the premieres and trying to figure out the codes and getting together to figure things out. It was just such a cool and fun experience, and I really feel like all of us together are a part of something that happened in the internet horror space now. Like we helped this progress. It's just so cool. But that is going to be it, guys. Obviously, if there's another huge update or anything like that, I will be sure to make another video on Plushy Playground. But if you guys haven't already, I highly recommend you go and check out the website yourself. The link to it will be in the description down below. And also, please be sure to go and support Jordan on Instagram, whose link to their Instagram I will be leaving in the description as well. But all right, guys, that is it. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to drop a like on it. And if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe. We make videos going over all different types of horror on the internet here on my channel. And all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.